Good evening from a freezing London Euston railway station, and today you join me for a very exciting journey up the West Coast Main Line. However, today it won't be with Avanti, it will instead be with Caledonian Sleeper on one of their overnight services up to Glasgow Central in their club room, which is essentially their version of first class with an ensuite shower. So it should be really exciting to see what that is like. The last time I went on the sleeper train up to Scotland was in 2019 to Inverness, and that was on one of the old Caledonian Sleeper services. It was on their Mark III carriages, so it'll be interesting to see what the new sleeper is like. Well, I say new, it was brought into service in 2019, but I haven't been on it yet, so it is new for me. Boarding starts at 10:30, however the lounge does open in about 40 minutes at 8:45. So I'm going to head inside Euston station, we'll have a quick look around and then we can jump into the lounge and see what it's like. The infamous terminus at London Euston was in fact the first intercity railway station in London, being opened in 1837 by the London and Birmingham Railway. Of course, the station was famously rebuilt with the demolition of the original buildings and the Euston Arch in 1962 being named as one of the greatest acts of architectural vandalism in Britain. Today, the station serves as a departure point for all northbound Caledonian Sleeper services, and with the lounge soon opening for the Lowlander Sleeper customers, those travelling to Glasgow and Edinburgh, I made my way down to platform 1 to give it a go. Opened about a year ago, the Caledonian Sleeper guest lounge is for the use of club and double room passengers only, and opens at 6 o'clock for the Highlander Sleeper and 8:45 for the Lowlander route. The lounge itself is located on platform 1, so after having a quick look at one of Caledonian Sleeper's smart locomotives, I wandered down the platform to the lounge's main entrance. It's at this point where you're essentially checked into your room, so having been given my room card, I took a seat and decided to have a quick look around. Inside the lounge, passengers can purchase a variety of evening meals and alcoholic drinks, with a range of different seating available to suit both the solo traveller as well as larger groups. For those not wishing to buy a full meal, there are also complimentary snacks and drinks, all of which I found to be really tasty. Finally, the lounge provides both toilet and shower facilities for use by guests. Overall, a really nice and modern space to wait if a little crowded. The time is now 10:15 in the evening and boarding of our train has just started. So I've just come out of the Caledonian Sleeper lounge here on platform 1, and as you will have just seen, it was quite a nice space to wait. I just found a seat, read my book, had a nice tea and some snacks for about an hour, and then they just call you out to board here on the platform. So of course I'm going to have a look up the front at the locomotive, take the thumbnail picture, and we'll have a look at the carriages up the train, and then I will see you when we get inside our club room. Having walked up to the locomotive, let's now have a quick look at tonight's route to Glasgow and how I booked this journey before we jump on board. With departure from Euston at 11:45, our sleeper makes a short hop to Watford Junction, where we briefly stop to pick up more passengers. From here, we wind our way up the West Coast Main Line under the cover of darkness, before stopping at the city of Carlisle in the early hours to drop off any passengers. Crossing the border, our sleeper divides into two portions at Carstairs, with one bound for Edinburgh and the other for Glasgow. With just one more drop-off stop at Motherwell, we pull into Glasgow Central after a scheduled 7 hours and 28 minutes of travel, covering the 400-mile route with an average speed of 54 miles per hour. Now looking at accommodation, there are 4 different choices in the form of a standard seat, a classic room, a club ensuite, and finally a Caledonian double. As you can see here, the seat at just £36 makes it the most economical option for overnight travel between the two cities. However, I decided to book myself a cabin, and at £40 more than the classic room, I thought it would be well worth the extra cost to see what the club room is like. So let's head on board Coach K, where my berth is located. Access to the room is via this extremely narrow corridor, with the berth itself being unlocked using the keycard given to me in the lounge earlier on. Upon entering, you really notice how small these rooms are, with the 2 bunk beds to the right taking up most of the space. Laid out on the bed are various bits of information, with the additional eye masks and bars of chocolate, as well as the all-important card for the morning's breakfast order, offering a wide selection of different dishes, from the full Scottish to the continental breakfast. The actual room itself features plenty of luggage storage under the bed, a small panel with controls for the temperature and dimmable lighting, plenty of both standard and USB plug sockets, complete with a dedicated charging area for phones, a large mirror on the back of the door, a blind offering access to the small window, and a wash basin providing both hot and cold running water to the room. Of course, being an ensuite, there is a small door which opens to the extremely compact but well equipped and laid out washroom, featuring a toilet under the folding lid and the shower, but we'll have to see what that's like in the morning. So now that I'm on board and in my club room, I've filled in my breakfast card for tomorrow morning, and I'm just going to hang it outside of the door before I head down to the club car for a drink before we depart at around midnight. With the all-important first impressions of my room being extremely positive, I took a wander down to the club car to try it out. The club car is open to all club room passengers, featuring a similar menu to the lounge earlier on platform 1. The carriage itself is really nicely decorated in the Caledonian Sleeper style, complete with tweed carpets, and provides a really nice place to relax with a drink and a snack as we get ready to depart. I've just got back from the club car. The time is now 11:30 in the evening, and departure is in about 15 minutes time. As you can see, I'm ready for bed, but I'm going to stay up when we leave Euston, see if we can see anything out the window, and then I'll probably head straight to my bed and try and get as much sleep as possible before breakfast tomorrow morning at 7:15 in the club car. Also, tomorrow morning, stay tuned, I will be trying out the shower, so I guess we'll see what that's like. But yeah, for now, 15 minutes before departure. Good morning from Carstairs Junction, just outside Glasgow, where the 2 portions of the Lowland Sleeper split, one going to Edinburgh, and then we're obviously going onwards to Glasgow Central station. And I've just woken up about 15 minutes ago, and I got about 6 hours of sleep, so that isn't too bad for a sleeper train. And as you will have just seen, I tried out the shower, which was actually really good. It was hot water. The pressure wasn't that great, but on a train, what can you expect? And yeah, overall, it's pretty decent for being on a train, as I said. So, as you will have heard yesterday, my breakfast is about 7:15 in the club car. So I'm going to head down in about 5 minutes, and we can see what the complimentary breakfast offering is like for my club room. So once again, I left my room in coach K and wandered down the narrow corridor with the electronic displays at the end of each carriage featuring the latest updates on journey progress. Having ordered breakfast the night before, I was guided to my reserved place in the club car, where I was soon served a delicious continental breakfast with tea and apple juice, an excellent way to start the morning as we crossed the River Clyde on the approach to Central Station, passing the early morning commuter traffic. We have just arrived at Glasgow Central and I'm going to collect my bags and head out onto the platform. Passengers on the sleeper can stay on board in their rooms until 8 o'clock. However, I've got an onwards connection, so let's head outside and we can summarise this trip. So as you can see, I've arrived at Glasgow Central and the Caledonian Sleeper is behind me now. And what an amazing journey. I mean, the room itself was really nice, really spacious, and it just felt really bright and airy in comparison with the Night Riviera, which was still really good quality, but it just felt a bit smaller and a bit more cramped compared to that, especially the bed. So I think that's really good from the Caledonian Sleeper. And of course, the price that I paid was £173.15, which was just £40 increase on the classic room. So that extra £40 got me breakfast, access to the lounge and an ensuite toilet and shower. So I think it was definitely worth it at the price that I paid for this in February. Of course, it's going to be more in the summer months when it becomes more of a touristy thing. But I think at this time of year, if you can grab a deal like that, then it's definitely worth it. And overall, it was just a really good experience. So I will definitely be doing it again. As I said earlier, I've got an onwards connection to make. So I'll be wrapping up this video right now with the locomotive behind me. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will hopefully see you next time.